Yep, we're still in Cape Town, and I vowed to take a break, and I am. And I feel like when I take breaks is when I get more inspired to share. And so I want to share this video with you because it's still fresh and I think some people want to know. So in this video, I'm going to talk about what it was like for me planning my first international investment summit, the Africa Investors Summit in Zanzibar, Tanzania. If you have an interest in planning events, figuring out how you can invest in the continent of Africa for the growth of Africa, you're going to enjoy this video. So please be sure to like it, share it with someone who would find value in it, and subscribe if you're not subscribed. Oh, and I'm Ashley. On my channel, Ashley in Africa, I talk about my experience of living and doing business here on the continent of Africa. I currently live in South Africa, sunny South Africa, and I'm on holiday in Cape Town. I wonder what you're thinking about it, because I'm thinking a lot about Cape Town. So I definitely am going to talk about this experience in the next video. But in this video, we're talking about the Africa Investors Academy and all of the things that went into it. All right. And so if you're new to the channel, on my channel, I talk about my experience of living and doing business. One of the businesses that I have is the Africa Investors Academy, where entrepreneurs from all over the world are building location independent businesses so that they can make more, invest more, and travel more here on the continent of Africa. And we had our first live event in Zanzibar this past, oh, it hasn't even been 2 weeks yet. One of our guests actually just arrived home. I think they had a layover and did some other travels, but they just arrived home. And I said, you know what? I want to recap this experience. It was a very unique experience because one, it was my first international event. Two, it was an investment event. And three, I wasn't in attendance. I couldn't travel and I had to manage the entire experience remotely. And so in this video, I just want to talk about a few things, like what I learned from this event, from hosting my first global event and it being virtual, and some of the processes and steps that went into it. Okay. So the first thing I learned is this I didn't learn because I've been doing events for most of my career and they are a lot of work. But having a team is essential. So I had a team that I started off in this planning process with, and they killed it. They killed it. They killed it. They killed it. Like A+ to this team. They were so intentional about the success of the event. And when I communicated that I could not travel, I expected pushback. I expected more than what I got, which was actual understanding, acceptance, willingness to knock it out of the park. And that just gave me all the feels. I was overwhelmed with joy, also anxiety, also gratitude, also fear. Also doubt in myself and my ability to actually pull this off. But then again, all the gratitude. And, it's no secret that being on this corner of the internet, when you are doing something that is extremely outside of the box, specifically as a Black woman from the diaspora, born to a country that has completely distorted our view of the continent of Africa, is attempting to distort our history, our understanding of self, that when you're doing this, there are tons of naysayers. And I had a lot of hesitation around what my work could look like here on the continent, because I knew that economic development is something that I have a strong passion for, and that it can also be very controversial. It can also be something that attacks a lot of haters, attacks a lot of naysayers, and you may see it, you may not see it in, the comments where, there's a lot of back and forth. And I don't live in this space of Pan-Africanism. I used to consider myself this, a Garveyite, a Pan-Africanist, a this or that. And, labels for me are limiting. And my desire is completely to support others that have an interest in making a transformation in their life, discovering peace, discovering ease, discovering a safe space to raise their children, discovering a place to actually build generational wealth, discovering a place to reconnect with oneself and understand and remember who we are and who we are meant to be. And I don't know what that's called. I don't know if that's Pan-Africanist. I don't know if that's a Garveyite. I don't know if that's pro-Black, like at the end of it all, for me, it's just about living a life of fulfillment, living a life of change, living a life of transformation, and sharing that with the world. And so all of these things were in my head, and I was not sure if I was going to be able to pull this off. And in the beginning, quite frankly, I didn't even want to do this event. I was terrified. I was doubtful, and we were able to do it. And it really boiled down to me working with two specific people that believed in the mission, that saw my heart, saw my vision, were aligned with that vision, and were willing to support the growth of that. And we did it. And one of the bigger things that we also had to do was make sure that we built kind of this umbrella of protection around us, right? So we sent out invitations to decision makers in the country of Tanzania, specifically in Zanzibar. We sent letters out to the ministry, the president's office, the mayor's office, the tourism office, the investment office, like all of these folks that essentially could support the growth and the success of this event. And we got an amazing response back. I think I'll share a link to that below. The letter will be for, access to other people in the Africa Investors Academy that have an interest in doing this type of work. We'll have that link, that letter available to you so that you can have an option and access to basically the blueprint, right? That means that is showing how we're actually building this thing. I think it's really important for us to be able to share those resources with each other. So that is what we do in the Africa Investors Academy. And we got responses back. We got responses back from the President's Office of Labor, Economics and Investment. They confirmed attendance. The Mayor of Zanzibar confirmed attendance. The Zanzibar Investment Promotion Authority, and so many more. There's a link to the recap for the first day, which was really one of the most powerful days, also in the description below. And these guests, these speakers, these partners made this event amazing success, built the credibility of our first event, and I cannot wait to announce the second event. The numbers are coming. We are garnering well over $2 million in investment and tourism dollars for our first summit. This is the power of education. This is the power of information, and this is the power of inspiration. The thought that I was able to attract people from all over the world to come to an event, to a city, to a country they had never traveled to, and make commitments to invest speaks volumes. And I can't wait to share those official numbers between real estate, between investing in some of the commodities that we're able to present to our members and our investors there. It was something that I really encouraged people that had projects in Tanzania to come to so that they could communicate, they could network, they could pitch their projects, their products, their offerings to our investors. And those that showed up, showed out, and had an incredible response from our investors. And, still a week later, they've been blown away. So those numbers, those official numbers are coming, but well over $2 million of investment in real estate and tourism. We did that. So the week following the event, after everyone spoke, I sent them follow-up emails, and they were really, really thrilled to hear about the success, hear that their involvement was important and impactful. And they also shared sentiments of being really excited that they were able to participate. And I will continue to follow up and make sure that we're supporting those relationships, because this is what it means to do business in Africa. Relationships are everything. And keeping them informed, keeping them updated about the status of things is also really important, something that I've learned. You know, I've also learned that the more you speak on a vision, on a mission, sometimes you can get backlash of naysayers. But the more that you communicate out the intention of love, growth, expansion, and having that mindset of abundance, nothing can stop you, right? Nothing can stop you. And it's just been an incredible experience to be able to have a goal, another one, and achieve it, and to see it be so successful, especially in its first year, especially given that I was not able to attend. I went through all of the emotions, and I'm continuing to go through all of the emotions, continuing to find a way to celebrate myself for accomplishing such a thing, and, staying in gratitude. And I cannot wait to announce the next summit. We're definitely going to remain in Zanzibar, because I see the value in what Zanzibar as a space, as a city, as a country, Tanzania as a country, Zanzibar as a region is really creating kind of this pilot program for, residency by investment here on the continent. There are other countries that are doing this. I am now made aware, but they are really on the forefront of that, in alignment with this tremendous amount of growth that they're seeing in tourism and real estate development. So if you have an interest in exploring more of Zanzibar, please be sure to visit the link in the description, Ashley in Africa. I have travel guides there for you to access. If you have an interest in connecting with Fumba Town, the biggest developer in Zanzibar, and their program, their economic zone, their economic opportunities for investment, you can also find their form on my website at ashleyinafrica.com. And if you have an interest in being in community with a group of like-minded individuals, entrepreneurs, and investors who are building businesses for the growth of Africa so that they can travel more, they can invest more, and they can live a better life here on the continent of Africa, we would love to have you in the Africa Investors Academy. Also, that link is also available in the description below. We would love to have you. So this, has been just a beautiful season of harvest, as well as a season of sowing. And I'm happy and grateful that I get to share that experience with you here on this channel. So if you enjoyed this video, please be sure to like it, share it with someone who would find value in it. And until the next time, I'll see you soon.